Alright, here we go, video. Here we're going to talk about AP Stats. Here I am, the AP Stats guy, trying to help you pass your AP Stats exam. As usual, here we go. I want to talk today about the 5-number summary and box plots, box and whisker plots, and hopefully at the end of this video you'll have a good understanding of what it is. So let's get started. So imagine a data set, a huge set of data. I wanted to know how much money maybe students made over the summer in a large city. And I had a list with all of the amount of money that each student made, thousands, a huge list. And imagine this, imagine I have that list and I took all the numbers and I wrote them all down in order from the least amount of money someone made to the most amount of money someone made. So you can imagine a lot of students might have earned 0 because some students don't work in the summer, play video games or whatever they do. But suppose I had that list and I'm going to write them down right now, really small. Ready? Here they are, I'm ready. This is 0, 0, 0, 0. I'm ready. You can't see the numbers because they're so small, but I'm writing thousands of them really fast. There. So that's like a bunch of numbers. That's like thousands of numbers, tons of numbers, and it's listed from least to greatest. What I'm going to do is find this thing called the 5-number summary, and it's actually not that difficult. Oh, it is. At first it is, but anything we do in this class is difficult at first, but you'll get to the point where you say, it wasn't that difficult, I hope. So I'm going to find this thing called the 5-number summary, and I'm going to start by finding the median. Now you know the median is in the middle. It's the middlemost number when things are ordered from lowest to highest. You probably remember that maybe from middle school and state tests and stuff like that. So let's do that first. First thing I'm going to do is look at the whole list. I'm going to go in there and find the middlest number. And now what I've done is I've divided this gigantic data set up into 2 smaller sets of equal size. So notice 50% of the data values are up here and 50% of the data values are down there. Half of the data values is below this, half the data values is above it. So suppose that I found that median, and that median was like 80 bucks. I'm going to rate this a little bit larger. 80 bucks. I don't know, kids didn't make that much money. Not a lot of jobs out there anymore. Okay. So I found the median, the middleist. Remember when you were a kid, you did it, you went like this, until you got to the middle number? Well, there's another way we can find that. We're going to do that in the next step, and I'll show you. It's pretty cool. Now, I've got this thing split into 2 equal halves, 50% here, 50% here. Now I'm going to do, this is called the median. It's also known as Q2. Now I'm going to go in and find another median and another median. I'm going to go to the bottom half, the lowest earning students, the bottom half, and I'm going to find the median of the bottom half. So here they are in order. I'm going to go, boom, I'm going to find this guy that's called Q1. So I took the bottom 50% and split them into 2 groups. So now I have 25% of all the students are in here, 25% here. I'm going to go to the top half now and find the median of the top half. Q3. Nice. Down here is my smallest guy, that's my min. Here's the largest number right here, the most earned, maybe someone earned like $1,000 or something. Q4, oh I'm sorry, that's if you're using Excel, we'll just call this max. And notice, the smallest guy is min, Q1, quartile 1, the first quartile is the value right here. Q2 is known as the median, Q3 and max. Those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers are called a 5-number summary. And the reason why the 5-number summary was cool about it is that these numbers actually split all of the data into 4 equal size groups. So 25% of the data values are between min and Q1. It's called quartile because you think it split it into 4 groups, so it split it into quarters. So Q1 is the end of the first quarter of data. Q2 is at the end of the second quarter of data, this quarter. Q3 is at the end of the third quarter of data, and Q4. So suppose these are the numbers. 0. A lot of students don't earn anything. Q1 will say 75 bucks. 0 bucks. Suppose it's like 160 bucks. And then we got some guy, then we got a bunch of money here and say $1,200. Whoa! So that was 5 numbers. So that's like there's one student, very max student, earning $1,200 in the summer. the middle student, the one right in the middle, only earned, oh, did I even put, oh yeah, 80 bucks. So these are the 5-number summary. The way you generally see it is like this. Min, Q1, median, Q3, max. And it's just listed 0, 75, 80, 160, 1200. And there's your 5-number summary, and that's how it's given to you. So when you have the 5-number summary, the big thing to remember about the 5-number summary is this. Take the whole data set, line it up. Find the middle of it all, that's the median. Then go to the bottom half and find the middle of the bottom half. The median of the bottom half is Q1. The median of the top half is Q3. And the actual median of the whole thing is Q2, Q1, Q2, Q3. If you ever start using Excel and you start doing stuff, this is actually, they call it Excel, the program uses calls this Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4 for obvious reasons. So let's actually find it by hand, and then I'll show you how to find it on your calculator. So let's look at a real, so we just imagined tons and tons of, like, thousands of numbers from here to here. And we got this 5-number summary. And when you look at this, you say, all right, 25% of the students made less than 75 bucks. A quarter, 1 in 4 kids made less than 75 bucks. It's amazing. So if someone said, hey dude, I only made $76 this summer. Would that be like unusually low? I mean, you're like, whoa man, gee, that's too bad. You're like way at the bottom. Well, 76 bucks is higher than Q1. So 76 bucks, I wouldn't say is unusually low, because 25% of the students made even less than that. They made 75 or less. So someone who's between Q1 and the median did better than 25%, or did better, made more. And that word that we use for like percent below you is called percentile. So if you take a test and you're like, oh, your test score comes back, you open it up. Oh geez, I was in the 7th percentile. That means that you scored better on that test than 7% of the people, which means 93% scored higher than you. So percentile is the percent of the scores or data values below you. So you can see that Q1 is always, Q1 is always the 25th percentile because 25% of the data value is below it. The median is always the 50th percentile because it's right in the middle. 50% are below it, 50% above it. And Q3, likewise, is in the 75th percentile because 25% of the data, 25% of the data, 25% of the data, 75% of the values are below it, so it's 75th percentile. So that test comes in, you're like, oh, I'm in the 75th percentile. Nice. I did better than 75%. I guess it depends on what the test is, but you might be excited. Yay! But 25% made more money than you or outscored you on the test. So that's the word percentile. We'll get more into that when we get to the normal curve and all that stuff. All right, so let's actually find one by hand. I'll show you a little box and Whisker Plot how to do that in a minute. Here we go. Real basic data set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. I don't know. There we go. Just threw that out there. All right, so I want to find the median. So you can do it the old way. Here it is. 6. That's my median. It's also known as Q2. Now, another way you can find the position, notice that that's in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. It's in the 6th position. You can always find the position of the median by taking n, which is always the number of data values in the set. So add 1 to it and divide by 2. This is what I mean. The position is always. So you can see here I have 10, 11 values. 11 plus 1. 11 is the number of values in the set, plus 1. Over 2 is 12. Over 2 is 6. Notice this is in the 1st, 6th position. And that works all the time. And you might be wondering, well, that's nice when it's an odd number, you add 1, get an even. Well, suppose I put another data value in there, 0. Let's see what that median goes to. Well, now there's 10, 11, 12 values. 12 plus 1 over 2 is 13 over 2, which is 6.5. So it's in the 6.5 position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. It's right between those two, and that's the middle number now is between the 6th and the 7th position, and you'd know that if you started at the end. So it's just a quick way to find the middle position. Okay. So now I got the median of the whole thing. Let's just keep this data set. Hey, what the heck? It's 5.5, right? It's the number that's right between these two. The number directly between these two is the average. Add them up, divide by 2 if you want. Now I have to find, I found the median of the whole thing. Let's find the median of the bottom half. All right, Q1. Let's find the median of the top half. Wait a minute. Oh, made a mistake. Hold on. See what happens? Haste makes waste. I did that hate. I cut it. Right between these two. Q1, 2.5. Q2, 8.5. Max, min. Here's my 5-number summary. 0, 2.5, 5.5, 8.5, and 15. That's my 5-number summary. The 5 numbers that split that data set up into 1, 2, 3, 4 equal-sized groups. 25% of the data values are below Q1. Half the data values are below the median. 3/4, 75% are below 8.5, Q3. They're all at the max or below. Here's the min. So you must be wondering, how do I make a Bucks and Whisker plot out of that? Because it's in the title, so we're going to do this one quickly by hand, and we'll do a little bit more detail later on. I'm not going to talk outliers or anything, even though that guy looks like it lies way out there. But let's make a Bucks and Whisker plot just looking at the 5-number summary. Here's my 5-number summary. So I go from 0 to 15, so I need to make sure, first thing I do when I make a Bucks and Whisker plot is make sure the range, I make a scale, make sure that I can have all of the values in it. So I have to go from 0 way up to 15. So I'll do it just like this. I'll make a scale, just a regular old scale. Here's 0, 5, 10, 15, I don't know, miles go 20, okay? And now I'm going to make my Bucks and Whisker plot. This is high-tech stuff. Ready? Watch. 0, 2.5, 5.5, 8.5. I go to about 8.5. Middle 3. That's my Q1. Median. Q3 always. 15. Here we go. Beep, whisper, beep, whisker. And there's my Bucks and Whisker plot. I just made it. Now it gets a little bit more complicated with outliers, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But notice, this is another way to describe data. Notice we got a bunch in here. These are just where they're all spread out. Min, Q1, median, Q3, max. 25% are in here. 25% of the data in here, 25 in here, and 25 in here. So that's my little thing about Bucks and Whisker plots and how to make them. Hopefully you understand what that stuff means. I'm going to do a little bit more complicated later on. I'm going to look at them skewed and all that stuff. But the big idea is this. The 5-number summary is simply the minimum, Q1, median, Q3, and max. There they are, the 5 things. And don't forget that the way you find it is first you have the whole data set, go right to the middle, and that's the median of it all. Go to the bottom half, find the median, that's Q1. Go to the top half, find the median, that's Q3. So you have min, Q1, median, Q3, max. And remember that Q1 is always in the 25th percentile. The median is always in the 50th percentile, ILE. The Q3 is always the 75th percentile. Max is always the 100th percentile. Everything's below the max. And this is like the 0th percentile, if that's even possible. Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully. Have a good day. Yes.